Hello everybody, welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. So as usually, we start with the DXY, the US dollar currency index of the Forex market. So what can we see on the weekly? We are still bearish because we had here our high here, and then this is one impulse low. These are the same lows. So in a bearish market, this is our bearish W. So we have here first leg, second leg, third leg, then this bearish W that's played out here with the same lows. So we expect same highs is a natural W. So that's what I can see. So what I could see also is I drew here a horizontal line here at these lows, and we just tapped it here, and then we had a weekly bullish candle. So we can see that the market took some liquidity here, which is also a clear supply and demand. So this is acting as support, support, resistance, support. We have a weekly bullish candle close, so there is a high chance that we can now have some more bullish momentum, potentially to make that bearish W on a daily for a potential more downside momentum till that weekly reverse point zone where the banks and institutes like to take some buys or these weekly lows. We will see what will happen. So if you can see further, this is also clear resistance here. Yeah, resistance. So it's a clear support, supply and demand zone region here, where the banks like to take some longs or shorts on. So then I went to the daily. So on the daily, what can you see on the daily? On the daily, we need to still make that reversal pattern in the form of a shoulder one, head, shoulder two. And what are we making here? As you can see, some kind of smaller bullish M against the daily driver. So we can have potentially a smaller pullback. So this can be our smaller bullish M against the driver, small pullback till this daily resistance. It can act like support, and then we can go further to the upside till that shoulder one region. And then we can potentially go more to the downside, or we can go straight to the upside. That is what I can see right now for the moment. If I go on the 4 hour, what can you see on the 4 hour? It's very impulsively. It's breaking this last lower higher. It's breaking that. So yeah, now after that impulse, we can accept, or we can see that we can have some corrective nature, counter that impulse, and then we can have an impulse again to that shoulder one region. That's a possibility also. So that's what I can see on the DXY. So then NZDUSD. So if I go on the daily or weekly first, on the weekly, what can we see? We have that weekly bearish candle close, but we are at an important buying zone. This is clear buyers, buyers, and every time we went till this highs, and this is aligning with that smaller bearish W here that can play out, and where we can potentially make a fake out flag from first leg, second leg, third leg, then fake out flag back to the downside. And on the weekly major trend, we are indicational bullish because we just broke this weekly high week here with this highs here. So this is, no, sorry, this was our high, this is our lower low, and we broke it. So this is one impulse lag from me. So we are indicational bullish, and after an impulse, we receive some corrective nature. The sprinter got tired, so it's taking now some breath for a potential next move to the upside. And what can we see if we drew further that supply and demand zone or just that support zone? We can see here also some buyers sitting, and if we have some more things, yeah, resistance here also, support, resistance, and here some resistance again. So it's a clear supply and demand zone that can hold our price up on the weekly. Even if that weekly bearish candle is against us, the weekly is indicational bullish with that buying zone, with the potential room till the weekly highs, for sure. So then I went to the daily. And what I saw on the daily, we have some nice bullish M. We have here our first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg coming back with the potential fake out flag here for potential more upside momentum. Ascending trend line here, aligning first touch, second touch, third touch, potential upside momentum. Daily IC lows got touched where liquidity is at, and as you can see, the buyers are sitting here, support, resistance, support, support, support. So that's very nice to see. And yeah, the bullish M is there, IC is there for taking some liquidity. Then I went to a 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, we can receive some diesel. So we already have the first candle, the second candle is a blue candle. There can be one in between closing. So the next candle needs to come back till a diesel and then have a potential pullback of that zone for that break even here or that 4 hour first point of structure TP, then a maybe of correction on the daily. That's what I can see for a moment. If I take this for our first point of, yeah, this one will be the first one. So this can be your 4 hour TP here. The first 4 hour structure here that play against you is this one. So for around 2.3%, which can play out. Then EURGBP on the weekly. What can you see on the weekly on EURGBP? The only thing you need to be careful for is this weekly lows. Here, this weekly lows that got rejected from, where we got rejected from. We still didn't touch this weekly IC. We have that weekly bullish candle close, so we can potentially get this week filled in this week. So for more upside momentum, we are still bullish because we had here our low and this is our high, so this is one impulse, so this can be all one correction, but we had here also the same high, so we expect the same lows, and we went below it. So we went below it and we can act like resistance there. So I went to a daily, and what can you see on the daily? We are just above it, still above that. And on the daily, what I saw on the daily was this nice shoulder one here, head, shoulder two, and we have some rejection of it already. So it's very nice aligning there. And on the 4 hour, you can potentially have here some kind of bullish M, but then you need a really huge one. I think, yeah, you need a really huge one. So this will be already at a daily high. So the best thing that can happen is that we can come back to this daily shoulder one region and then have some diesel or pattern for potential more upside momentum. That's what I can see right now for a moment. So then Euro USD on the weekly. What can you see on the weekly? We are still bullish because this low got unbroken. This was our new high. Then these are the same highs, so we expect the same lows here. We have here a small shoulder one, head shoulder two. Liquidity got taken from that shoulder one zone, weekly bearish candle close. And then you can potentially make that same lows here because we have still some space to touch that weekly lows or weekly smaller lows here. So that's potentially that can happen. So then I went to the daily, and on a daily you have a nice shoulder one, head, shoulder two that can potentially play out. Then we can have a small pullback, and then we can go to the downside. Then on a 4 hour, what can you see? Yeah, we have a very big impulse to the downside, and now we can receive some corrective trend aligning with that. Yeah, resistance here at acting like support that can become resistance here on the 4 hour. We will see what will happen there on the 4 hour. Then GBPCAD as the last one. So if I go to the weekly, what can you see on the weekly? So on the weekly, we are still bullish because we had here our bullish M here sitting within that shoulder one, head shoulder two, pattern within a pattern. Then we are just in a bullish trend. We have that weekly bearish candle against us, but this is no problem. This happens a lot of times that the candle is against us and we can still trade it. So we have the trend with us, patterns with us, weekly lows that got tapped here, smaller pattern with us. If I go on the daily, you can see we have our bigger daily pattern, shoulder one, head, shoulder two within that, a bullish M that can play out for potential more upside momentum. And then I'm until the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, we got already here a diesel with some kind of smaller bullish M. And then now we have a kind of reset because we came back and we have already 2 candles here. So we have here the first one, second one, the third one will be opening. Then you can enter on the fourth one for more upside momentum. So these are the trades I'm looking at this upcoming week, and we'll see what will happen there from that point. So have a nice trading week, everybody, and see you next week. Bye.